Okay, so welcome to our next game of Star Wars. We have moved to Monday nights, even though I've got Tuesday up there at the moment. I will get around to updating that bit for our next session. We are up to session number 91, or episode 6, episode 19 of season 6. Of course I get that round the wrong way this time because, hey, I'm dyslexic some days. It is day 173, or month 7, day 5. Online today we have Ross.
Yes, I play Coward, the Enforcer, Assassin, Cyberdoc, and Droid mechanic of the group, with his entourage of pit droids, and his faithful companion Ragnar, which I'm still trying to work out. Other being a scout cat, trying to work out what else he can probably get him to do.
And so, do you remember how much credits your character has left over?
No, actually.
You haven't kept track?
I have. Not of yours, mine.
Essentially. Well, that means you may have spent it on gambling or other sort of activities.
Drugs and hookers.
Well,
much, yes.
The credit that we had left wasn't that much.
I mean, that you didn't take with you.
Oh, that
You mean
credit.
regular credit, right?
Regular
Like,
credits, yes.
from all our missions and things.
Yep. Because I'm not going to keep track of every bit for every character.
No.
And if the players have forgotten to keep track of it, then their characters lost track of it too. Which is a fair thing to say. As we move on to Mike.
Hello, I play Brum Brum Crash, a Gungan ace pilot from the Panorama Mountain Raceways of Naboo. I'm 2.2 meters tall with a pink Mohawk.
Okay, so does Brum Brum Crash have any savings that he's kept?
Yes.
How much?
I currently have 28,500 credits.
Ching.
Which is always good to have, especially considering you'll be getting some more this session.
Hooray!
Okay, also at our table today we have Peter.
Greetings. I'm playing the severely traumatized Sergeant Garm Von Jewel, human quartermaster of the Rebellion and recent addition to the Mandalorians.
And showing just why you made the fearless leader.
Oh, there's much fear. Much fear.
I believe that was said ironically. I don't mean that in any way.
And so how much money did Garm have in savings?
He's got 3, 6, 9, 15, 17, 13, about 18,000 and change.
Okay, that brings us to Ariadna.
I am Therne True Striker. Talon Clan. Talon of the Clan. Clan Talon.
Just as bad as I am today.
I haven't had any coffee today, so my brain works less than usual. I am also now a space wizard officially, rather than just force sensitive. But that means I finally get access to ability to heal group members and enhance them. So that's kind of good. I would like to say I bring my faithful apprentice with me. There are only 2. But Kayana is absent today. So I get to make up exactly what we've been doing over the last month, playing with our lightsabers together.
So, saying only 2, so you're going down the dark path.
No, I was joking. No. I haven't chosen a path.
Hey, the Jedi specifically had a Jedi can only have one apprentice. So they had a rule of 2.
For all I know, she is Padawan, but I suspect it's more like a case of you two both have to build lightsabers, work it out together, 2 heads are better than 1. Yeah, I'm absolutely joking. I am further along in my training, question mark, dot, otherwise known as an ellipsis, which might mean that I can pass on some kind of insight and understanding of the Founder's Book, but I have a feeling I'm the kind of teacher that will just like thump that 4-inch volume in front of her and go, have fun.
Quite likely. And does Saya remember how much she has in change?
Thea doesn't want to say publicly how much she's got because she makes everyone else look poor because she saves all her money. You gonna make me say it publicly? Alright. At the minimum, I got 58 grand, but I think I got 20 more.
Ow! Bloody okay.
And that's because I did a few of those jobs without other people.
Okay.
And technically, I gave 20 grand to Mike to buy his ship back. Well, his engine.
On top of that?
On top of that, yeah.
Meow.
So,
Meow.
you know,
Meow.
there's a lot to be said for not being a Mandalorian, but being a part of Mandalorian family.
Okay, so that
Oh
will
no, I
be...
don't know that he's ever thanked me for that either.
No.
I roll triumphs.
Where were you this session?
Triumphs are my love language, he says.
Yes, and I don't think they rolled a single triumph last session.
I'll double check my journal as to whether or not that's higher than 58. I just have to get that out. I'll just finish a sandwich first. After I kick that bamboo cans again, that's not a euphemism. Right.
Okay, so Khalid and Boom Boom Crash ended up heading back to the Elrood Sector via public transport with Ash, as they had pretty much decided nope, and they were deciding to be family for who had pretty much had a mental break.
Yep, they looked after me.
So, what Mike missed out on last session was that they had successfully infiltrated the temple, met with a spirit of the dark side,
Roll is really fresh.
and the party struggled to deal with horrors that they had never had to deal with for a long time.
Party?
I said the party struggled. You succeeded. Diana succeeded, but the party struggled.
Yeah. I forgot to
And
get crackers.
even Brum Brum Crash would have struggled with the fact that his
failed
discipline
every
is
time.
also low.
Where was Mike when we were rolling all of those red dice?
I have 6 points in Sith.
Sorry, you what?
I have 6 dice and 6 in Sith.
It's 6 dice in trying to figure out Sith secrets, and no actual training in it, which is justifiable because you've never actually practiced or read anything.
Have we rolled our dice for today? Can Mike roll our dice for today?
Misa says, how hard can it be?
It was horrifying.
Anakin did it, so can't be that bad.
Okay, so that is 3 black and 2 white.
We roll.
Me.
Okay, that's okay. I was just checking it wasn't Martin.
Are you trying to say that I roll badly?
No, you just roll well for yourself.
Hey, the dice love me.
Exactly. And they seem to like Mike, so I'm happier with Mike rolling them.
Okay, so did I miss anything else on last fortnight session?
So I feel like you kind of glossed over the most horrific bits, which kind of mean that Mike doesn't necessarily get them. Although I think I might have given you a summary on Friday. About we started out after taking our wandering rescued missing 10 guys back to base, headed back out, reached the temple after nearly getting ourselves devoured by moles with teeth larger than our ship. If I remember, one of the moles was the size of a bus.
Yeah.
And its teeth were bigger than you are tall. So exaggerating about bigger than our ship bit, but when you're right in the mouth of the thing, it feels like that.
Well, it's gnawing on that invisible barrier.
And so there was an invisible barrier once we reached the temple that kind of stopped us from being eaten, which we were thankful for. We were surrounded by statues, about 50 of them odd, around the valley, which were all sort of knights of some sort. Kind of like Mandalorian knights, but with traditional swords, not like laser swords. That kind of gave us a clue we're in the right kind of spot. Then a little old human man who looked underfed, and I was expecting to talk like Yoda but did not, gave us a bunch of gibberish until I force-willed him into telling us the truth, at which point he got force-choked until his head popped off by the Sith influence in the area. Garm wanted to run away, but bad Thea made him stay, because she said if you run away, you end up in the unprotected wilds of the bus-sized
There was still that thing
megalodons.
Still the thing at the invisible barrier.
Land
so you
shark.
couldn't get out.
So we all went down into the temple, and we were initially poked at, tested, where everybody found themselves facing off against themselves. And if you failed the test, you ended up trying to throttle yourself. And if you passed it, you watched 3 of your clanmates all trying to throttle themselves and going, "What?" Before giving them a literal slap to get them out of it, because they couldn't hear you, they wouldn't respond to you until you kind of physically interacted with them. And then at that point, a Sith ghost guy appeared, and turns out, we found out later, he'd been tracked there just for us, well, not us particularly, for the next Mandalorians to come here seeking spiritual expansion and testing in terms of the Force. And Hyana did a great show of leadership and kind of rallied us together as a group. I force-examined him and figured out he was going to try and corrupt us and get one of us to turn against the others. So, cried bullshit on that and warned the rest of the group. Khalid started reciting the clan code, the Mandalorian code, which was kind of like a rallying cry of remind us who we are and that we are together, because the only way you could complete the test was as a group. That F word again. Family. There's a bunch of 13-year-olds out there going, "No, we thought it was the 4-letter one." And then Ash gave a recitement of his essay on leadership. But he did it so well that seemed to have a positive effect. Not that Thea's a particular fan of essays. I don't think Ash is too either. I think Dom made him write it, if I remember right. Did Dom make people write essays or do some sort of test?
Dom made some of them fill out essays when they were not paying attention.
That's right. No, the reason why you guys were left behind and didn't come with us was you were supposed to do pilot simulation training, extra training. But Ash wrote an essay instead, which is why you take down more planes than he does, right?
Practice makes perfect.
I'm just joking. So we ended up... Oh, and Garm ran behind the sarcophagus and hid.
Yep.
Which wasn't actually a bad move because the guy was still trying to turn him over to his side, and Garm's was like, no, I don't want anything to do with you or anything else in this room. Which turned out to be, you know, neutrality turned out to be just as effective as togetherness, which is fine. Trust me, with my family, I understand. Because Kayana and I passed the tests so well, we didn't roll the spells on our die. This was all against a minimum of 3 red dice each roll, and there was about 15 of these. So the fact that we're not dead is a miracle. We saw a portal. Were you there for the early part where we saw the Star Dragon, Starwing? And we ended up on a planet where the old Sith Wars began, and there was an old Mandalorian Sith ship with basilisk droids on there, the kick-ass droids. Ancient ruins. It's where we first discovered the Founder's book. Anyway, so there was a portal there that I stepped into because I rolled well. The dice really are trying to kill me. They succeed when I don't want to succeed, and they fail when I don't want to fail. So a similar portal opened up here, so we recognised it as the Founder's portal, and so in we went. I was originally going to try and take the whole group in so we could all enjoy it together, but apparently that would have killed them. So we didn't do that, fortunately. And there we found kyber crystals for making lightsabers. I had an extra vision on top of that, which I have to look in my book for the details of because it's probably going to be important later.
The vision of the Founder capturing the Sith.
That's right.
Using a power called battle meditation.
That's right.
Which Thea then learned.
Yeah, so that's how I learnt battle meditation. So it turns out the Founder caught this guy centuries ago and trapped him here so that when we came here we would have a worthy opponent to test us. I say that in questionable tones because, to be honest, I prefer not to face a Sith, but yeah. Gotta happen someday, right? Those Inquisitors will eventually be followed by a Sith, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you think about it, it's actually kind of appropriate that we did, because with Force powers we will one day face Sith. Or at least try and run away from them. And we'll have to know how to resist their hallucinations if we do. So after that we trekked back home. There was an extra secrety box for Kayana there, which had extra lightsaber bits in there for her to build her lightsaber with. And Garm said, I'm not staying here a second longer, and as soon as he got into the lodge he grabbed his stuff and left. But Ash asked him if he could come along, and he said, you're not a space wizard, fine. And then Khalid and Brum Brum also volunteered to escort him back home so that he was safe and You guys hung out as bros for the last month. Well, me and Kayana's still on the same planet, as far as I know, unless Martin adjusts that. Building our lightsabers and learning from the book, because Kayana's just become force sensitive, and I figure she should have a better introduction than I did, which was no introduction. So, yeah.
Things could be worse.
It could be. Right, I'm going to go finish my sandwich.
Okay, so
Always be late.
you do see that Garm seems to be suffering from some sort of psychosis. He looks touched, not in the good way.
I feel like he
Bad
should be
touch.
in a sanatorium right now, though.
And I'm sure Brum Brum Crash really loved the fact that you had to go back via droid ships and slow transports and economy.
He didn't have to. Being the nice top guy he is, he chose to come back to support his good friend Garm.
You've replaced me already.
Well, he chose to support, but he had to fly economy.
We all
And
had to
someone
fly
else
economy.
was flying.
I had to hand in my business class ticket to make the changes.
Mm-hmm. Your single ticket paid for everyone's transit.
I'm happy with that.
Because hey, sometimes the difference is that much.
Mm.
And so, you've had quite a lot of time together.
Mm-hmm.
Many weeks of transit. Almost a 1 to 5 days at each port, waiting for the next ship.
Yep.
Because unlike the first time, they didn't line up this time.
For me, the big point was getting off the planet ASAP.
And you had close to a month in starport dives across the galaxy, making your way back to Elrood. And once you finally get there, do you? What would you say to Dom as you finally get off the final transport, getting you back onto the space station, Upper Elmar?
Hey Dom, we're back.
He sort of looks you up and down and says, "Aren't you a few days early?"
I had some work I needed to do.
Fair enough. We'll get your quarters cleaned up. Other people currently using the limited space, you know.
Absolutely.
Did Brum Brum want to bring anything to Dom's attention?
Economy is cramped and is terrible for your back when you're tall.
Anytime that we're not credit limited, I'd be more than happy to buy you first class tickets.
Make it up too obvious.
What?
Carla did say it would be too obvious.
That's the idea of first class.
Well, as if I'm going to travel in first class.
What? Darth Brum Brum.
Or Darth Crash.
Darth Crash.
Sounds like a bad movie.
A completely new name easy changes to the dark side.
But yes, as we've been travelling, my character has actually been, like, we land, I'll pay some credits to get information, I'll send off some orders or whatever, and we do that as we're travelling. Because whilst my character, his primary motivation was to get the hell off that planet, like now, he did realise that performing, basically credits for the rebellion is needed, necessary. So that's what he was doing.
So you walk off with a pile of trade parts.
trade parts?
Yeah, so basically your wheeling and dealing means that you manage to buy a lot of needed gear along the way.
Yeah,
But
and cybernetic upgrades and things like that.
But to have it delivered, as opposed to a big backpack of stuff.
And yes, were able to go through some major trade hubs. So having it delivered here means that you don't have to tell people where it is.
No. I've got normal
Okay, well,
methods of transporting stuff, so I would be using those.
okay.
Star Trek Express.
I'm sure he'd use Amazon.
Amazon, yep.
And what does Khalid tell Dom?
The experience was enlightening. Yeah, finding oneself is, yeah. I do not want to go against myself.
Well, he did hear that at least you supported 2 members passing the test of the founder.
Yeah.
So he is quite happy for that to have happened. Though he was expecting everyone to return at the same time.
He was expecting what?
Everyone to return at the same time.
They had it covered, the religious thing was done, and so there was just a little bit of stuff they needed to do before coming back, and I had some money to make, so I came back.
Well, Dom's already got a completely different report from Thea.
He does say that he has set up some rather specific training regime for the team. And he invites you to Space Witch 101.
Space what?
Witch 101.
What's that?
Talking about the Inquisitors and how to spot them, how to deal with them. And what they mean to the galaxy at large. Because the Mandalorians have fought with and against Force users most of their history.
Well, when he says that, my left hand starts to sort of twitch. My character goes, sort of puts it under his arm and goes, Well,
Hey, knowledge is power. If you don't know what you're dealing with, next time you'll probably get your face burnt off.
knowing what to look for is probably not a bad idea.
Okay, so the sessions start talking about the red blades as a sign of the less happy space wizards.
Mm-hmm.
More likely to stab you than talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
And goes through the whole, if your leader suddenly starts countermanding the orders he's had up until that point, he might actually be influenced.
Okay.
Because the weak-minded can be redirected by space wizards.
Okay.
Plus, they can lift things up by space magic.
Uh-huh. Again,
Keep saying that.
the character's starting to... The PTSD's kicking in.
And they like to use energy blades that can cut through most things, including Beskar, if given enough time.
So, are these guys just going to terrorize these guys again, or are they going to tell the benefits of having a space wizard on your side?
Well, they go through the negatives first, because
I
hey,
see.
Garm's thinking, it's easy. I just run. Put my head down and run.
then
Until you get picked up.
they then go into the discussions about how having one on the team means that they can learn to protect you against the influences of said evil space wizards. So your mind is your own. But you need a space wizard to stop a space wizard normally. Even that or lots of shotgun shells.
What do you mean?
It's
They-
a slug thrower you need, right?
They basically, he pulls out a what looks to be a non-energy weapon,
Mm-hmm.
and says they seem to think they can block everything coming towards them.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks mostly like a energy weapon. It fires mostly like an energy weapon, but it's got lots of little projectiles in there that will shred through most space wizards.
You might have actually seen Thea use one of these because she has one and she has used it in combat.
So they go to block with their blade and it just goes right past and into them. Or hits them with molten metal.
And where do you get these from?
We build them.
So where would I get one from?
We will start the training for those in their use this week. He says as he starts a training regime in how to use weaponry to assist, including the energy shields they use to stop the blades.
I don't have one of those yet. Or no, I think I do have a little one. Like a buckle one. As soon as I found out about this shit, I think it's called, is it called a slug thrower? Is that what it's
A
called?
slug thrower, yes.
Yeah, I've
You
got
can
a,
get- Some slug throwers combine energy and slug.
yep. And then I got the Bocana and I have the little energy bucklers on our, whatever that thing is.
You got the
called.
van braces which stick out the blades, not not the shield.
Oh, okay, I thought.
Because the shield is quite a lot more expensive.
Okay, well, I'll have to upgrade. I've got money. I just need opportunity. Does anyone want a hot beverage?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Sure. Yep. All good. No?
Sure. I'll
Yep.
coffee.
I'm going to make
These-
something for myself anyway, so.
And they enroll Gum into advanced Mandalorian hand-to-hand, and
I get my ass kicked. I'm no good at that. I'm too old. Okay,
How old are you?
about
And-
40.
and the more he complains, the more classes seem to stack.
Yeah, you're right. You're old.
So again, I'm getting beaten up by 12-year-olds.
The same 12-year-olds who advance into the next rank.
My character's going, I thought we were friends, guys. Come on!
Well, their opinion is they're making you last longer on the battlefield, so you'll keep coming back.
I explain my theory. Battle happens, and I hide behind, I actually stand behind one. And I go, as you can see, I'm protected. You're in my way. So the bad guys are shooting at you, and I'm fine.
And they laugh.
Unless they use an area effect weapon.
Well, then I'm dead regardless of how good I am.
Yes, but training
No,
to
you
survive,
need-
they say.
You learn how not to be there. So start dodging.
Because their training is all about not being where you're getting shot. As well as shooting first.
So they've got the armour, and they've got like the jetpack, so they can move quite quickly to, around the
Jet
battlefield.
boots, as well as running and dodging and using cover, using other people.
Colour's fine. Like, more than happy to learn how to better use cover. But
Basically, how to work as a team and protect those who need protecting.
like me!
Which
So-
you'd never learn if you weren't part of the training.
So I say to the 12-year-olds, now, what you need to do is get better at protecting me. See? So listen to your masters and learn good.
Which means you'll be getting all our training now. Glad you volunteered, they
I
say.
hate these kids.
Well, they can't learn to protect you unless you're there. 12-year-old logic.
Well, my character is interested in learning how to use the shotguns.
And they do have many things that are designed to breach and do area effects. They have like the weapon called the Deck Sweeper. It shoots out.
Energy weapon or?
Designed to knock everyone out as you board.
Well, supposedly, from what I vaguely remember from my readings, the Mandalore has used, as you say, slug throwers and shotguns were especially useful, but also their flamethrowers. Because you can't block a flamethrower with a laser sword.
You can't, but you can push it away. So they do work in the flamethrowers that you're talking about. They work in caltrops. Space wizards like to jump around. They're not always looking where they land.
Explosives would be pretty good as well.
They are.
Except for the fact that, again, you can knock them away.
You can. And they also have sticky grenades, which are a lot harder to knock away. Especially if said knocking sets them off. And then there is the restraining grenades that just explode in a bunch of very, very quick setting glue. Known to be able to be strong enough to take you up into orbit.
Oh, dude. But yeah, the shotgun. Character's interested. So I will spend, they're going to force me to do stuff and I'm going to be absolutely terrible at it. But my character's especially motivated to learn how to use a shotgun.
So it will be under ranged heavy.
Oh, really?
Because it is literally designed to send out a huge spray of metal.
And that comes off your brawn, I imagine?
No, it comes off your agility.
Yeah, alright. So, over whatever period it takes for the rest of the group to get back, again, being highly motivated, I will spend some experience points to, if I have to get to be trained in it, effectively trained in it.
Okay, looking at
Light weapons is all I've got.
you've got one in light weapons. You've got enough XP to get ranged heavy.
So I'll get a trained and ranged heavy. And how much does the actual shotgun cost?
It doesn't. They throw it in as part of your training.
Oh, okay.
Because hey, you're now part of the family.
Yes.
And they even throw in tactical training with the helmets.
What does that entail?
Basically communication, different sites. We're using it to identify and tag targets. Because their helmets are more than just headwear.
Okay.
Because you want your helmet, you just hadn't gone through the training on how to utilize it. Where most of the 12-year-olds are also learning the same thing at the same time.
Okay. So again, rather than getting my ass kicked 24/7, it's only sort of 12/7.
And both Khalid and Brum Brum are thrown back into classes to learn the basics so they can communicate better. Whereas Ash has decided to join the Starfighter Patrol.
Well, I'll give him a good going away. You know, hopefully I'll see him again, etc., etc. And again, I thank him for his efforts on my behalf on the trip back.
He does the whole high five with a followed up by a headbutt.
So when I wake up in about 3 or 4 hours, I've got something to remember him by.
And his last words of, here, let me use my head with this.
Yeah. Big egg.
Okay, so yes, you have a training montage where you each get to learn some advanced training, teamwork and coordination. And you keep finding that Gum keeps hitting the top of the list of the coordinators.
Bottom of the list of the actual martially talented.
Brum Brum keeps acing the starfighters.
Yeah.
And the any sort of vehicle he seems to score at the top of the class.
Understandable.
And then Carla keeps scoring assassination techniques. So Carla basically keeps scoring how many interesting ways you can kill people.
He's truly silent and deadly.
Yeah, and that's the other reason I do not want to be one with the universe, because, yeah, the universe will not be one with me.
Okay, so they do some mock battles with people waving about glowing swords. Not that they're actual lightsabers, they're just swords that make humming sounds and light up.
So you mean they're like your FX lightsabers?
Very much so. Fake sabers.
Oh, you should have called me.
There's a-
I'm sorry.
There's a good chance my character probably panics the first however many times.
Well, I don't think you've seen a glowy sword. It's
Yes, I have.
outside of the research institution, right?
That was enough.
You do know that stun rods also glow?
They're not the same. And again, my character doesn't like them, but he's unlikely to panic when someone pulls one out.
And they start practicing techniques such as grapple guns, flamethrowers, nets, bowlers, stun grenades, all these various things of disabling but not killing the target. Mainly because that the reason for going for a stun attack, they say, is the attack may be redirected towards you. So instead of giving your opponent a way of killing you, better to give them a way to disable you instead. They generally use the kill shot for close quarters surprise.
Ambush.
It's more if the blade comes towards you, that's the time to pull out the shotgun and go boom. Not from 50 meters away.
Yes.
And hopefully in a corridor where they don't have room to move.
Yes, that's a good point. They're in a corridor, nowhere to jump, so it's all down to the lightsaber.
Yeah. Especially if they block everything else coming their way.
But yes, my character is very motivated in the in this learning.
They also introduce various netting that you can use to electrify corridors. So it's sort of like a capture net, except it sticks to all the walls and electrifies.
People touch it,
Shocking.
so they walk on it. They get shot.
Shocking.
That's also be good against droids too.
Delivers a stun shot, even if it's been partly cut through. So it's not designed to stop the moment it's cut, it's designed to keep all of its active. So all it needs to do is brush against someone, and boom, they go down.
Okay.
So basically just trying to demonstrate the various strategies that have been developed over the last 10,000 odd years. Fighting space wizards.
Okay. Well, like I said, the character is motivated.
And then the final class is the best defense is not being there in the first place. They start off with how to deal with the situation if you're there, as the basis by teaching you all the bad things they can do, then how to mitigate it when they're actually there, and then the planning on how not to actually interact with them in the first place.
Okay.
Considering they start showing pictures of known Inquisitors.
They do. Well, again, my character's probably going.
I hope I get to look at these pictures too.
But he's interested in because if you know what they look like, you can avoid them. You can avoid them if you can see them. And I'll upload, if I can, copies of those pictures into my helmet. I name them Happy Friends.
Just in case someone looks at it, that's it.
So, you get an Inquisitor who goes, "What's this?" We're told that these are the guys that are out in the universe looking after us. That's why I named it Happy Friends.
You could always just lie and charm them and say, "Oh, these are my mates." Although an Inquisitor might not look down on that well, because they all hate each other.
Especially if it's like, "Hey, I've never met you before, but you've got my picture."
Yeah. Well, you got my picture.
Yeah, you'd be in trouble if.
I'm a big fan of yours.
Yeah, can I get your signature?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, fandom. Yeah, go for fandom.
Yeah, that's okay. I've got my own pencil. Would you like it signed in your butt?
Isn't that an eraser? You get it erased from existence.
Only if he doesn't leave his signature on you.
Great. He's been watching too much Zorro movies.
Hey, I grew up with Zorro. So yes, you end up with a bunch of training, access to new gear, including each of you getting a shotgun style last resort weapon. Generally has 2 shots in it.
Okay.
Not really designed for long-term thing because you generally need to repair the gun afterwards.
But as you say, as a last ditch, get rid of them. Boosh. Effective.
You see, he's all excited.
Yeah. He's just like, yay, I get to lay down, yay.
Well, not just that, but unlike Martin, I make him a double padded sleeping area. I give him twice the real estate Martin gives him, and I let him wreck my right knee by sleeping up against my knees and just the sheer 4 kilos of him.
I keep picking him up and moving him. And then, hugging him and making him feel very much like he's being objectified.
Well, apparently he wasn't waiting for the seat at all.
Oh.
He's been more agitated since that cat's been coming through.
Yeah.
He keeps keeping an eye out that window more often.
And then goes and bats the window occasionally.
Yep.
Out of my space! Yeah, we had a building knocked down just over the fence.
There was a house there this morning. There's no house
anymore.
there this afternoon. 2 o'clock, gone. Doesn't even take a full 8 hours.
Why?
Because
I
I believe
presume
knock
someone
down,
bought
rebuild.
it and
Right,
they're
okay.
going to build. Yeah.
As because the properties here are larger than they are out in the new estates.
Oh,
The blocks of land.
You can pretty
Ow.
much pay for the price of a block to get a house and land here.
Our Flynn property was 1,350 metres squared. It had our 3.5 bedroom on it plus our 8 metre long extension. And then it had a 2-bedroom flat on it, a pool, a deck and a spa. And there's still room, if we got the zoning done, to stick another flat on it.
Dude.
Yeah. It's
But
just,
it was, as a land,
yeah,
the house and land was almost worth as much as the land alone in
Yeah.
the new places.
yeah.
So all the stuff built up on it, the fact it could be zoned as a 3 property.
In comparison to Quace, where you get like 330 square metres to stick a house on, how many 330s can you fit into that size chunk of land?
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was like 1250, not
Yeah.
1350. But yeah.
Doesn't really matter. It's still at least
No,
three to
it's
four
not ours
times the
anymore.
size. And so yes, you end up with quite a few interesting things. Did you want to do anything yourselves beyond that? How do you guys react to the various training?
With enthusiasm, and I can get to tinker with the shotgun.
Well, like I said, getting beat up by 12-year-olds is never a good thing.
Oh look, you're not being beat up by them. You're being
Yes, I am.
Trained.
These bruises have
It's
bruises.
all about the definition. You were grateful that you had the fitness to do the walkout on planet Nowhere. So now, when you're being attacked by an Inquisitor and you pull out that slug thrower and actually shoot it somewhere in his face, you'll be happy yet again.
I am very, as I said, I'm very motivated with the shotgun and the all the sort of information about how to identify these space wizards and whatnot. So, yep, happy for that.
And they do point out that a majority of them, if you see their eyes, they appear to be yellow.
Yellow.
Yellow irises. Seems to be a defining trait.
Does that matter? Yeah. Does it matter? Does it change depending on the race?
Nope. Apparently, it is what defines a chunk of the Space Wizards.
So if it was a Wookiee, for example, they'd still have the yellow jaundiced eyeballs
And the red blade.
and the red blade.
They almost universally, the red blades have yellow eyes.
Okay.
Which is interesting when Erodian with their big black eyes go yellow.
That would be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be very weird.
Or one of those insect races.
All very similar in that sense. And it's usually a sign of the path to power, they say. Those who seek power and domination above all else.
So I'm
Okay.
just calculating my accounts since I last checked.
I miscalculated mine because I was on two pages. I'm 42,220.
How much have you got?
42,220.
Yeah.
Because I had it on two separate pages.
I see my 20 grand in there, I do.
I spent 25,000 on ship upgrades.
Your ship?
Huh?
Your ship?
Uh,
Or our ship? If it's our ship, I'll call it even. If it's your ship...
it was. I can't remember which one.
It was your ship.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so... Oh...
Your speed racer. That's okay. You also end up with a bunch of credits that will be part of you to invest and spend and splurge on. So Garm receives 52,300 credits.
Jesus Christ.
There's no credits.
Sorry?
He says no credits. He doesn't know he doesn't know how to spend Christ.
So what was it 52,000?
52,300.
You had that. It's been spent.
And car lead is given 20,500.
Okay, cool.
Brum Brum Crash is given 13,000.
Robbed. What, 13,000?
Yeah,
Flat?
13,000 flat.
Robbed. Bloody space wizards.
Well, hey, most of that is earned from completing specializations.
Oh, I can't do that because I don't have enough points. Because I've been actively spending my XP.
Okay, so that represents a couple of months of downtime, learning, training, having distance from horrors of Sith,
Yeah.
and then learning that there's a Sith museum down on the planet.
Really?
Yep. Basically, it's a ancient battle museum with Mandalorian, Sith, and Jedi relics.
So the Mandalorians were on the Sith side trying to kill the Jedi.
And on the Jedi side, trying to stop the,
Sith.
well, basically the enslavement and subjugation of the region. Basically, clan versus clan. Because one clan wanted to subjugate, one clan wanted to protect.
So these are Mandalorian clans.
Yeah.
But this is for Khalid, Brum Brum, and Grum. Grum.
Why, hey, Grum.
Hey, Grum.
Oh, Gum. Sorry.
So Dom's clan was on which side?
He was on this side protecting the region.
Okay.
Mainly because this region was where their founder came from.
Starwing.
But history doesn't really show that very much because they don't really like to talk about those wars anymore. But apparently I have a drinking problem where I spill it down myself.
Did
I
you
do
need
it
a
all the
cloth?
time.
I got a tissue. All I was doing was trying to get a little bit of coffee.
A little bit of the rest of the coffee?
Yeah, and I managed to spill it all over myself at the same time because it's a talent.
Gifted.
Okay, so did Brum Brum have anything particular he wanted to get with his money?
Oh, I
Cha-ching.
haven't really.
Your debt's fallen due, buddy.
Haven't really. Oh shit!
Come
I know there was. Oh, God, I can't remember now where I wrote that down. I know there was stuff that I had to buy for shit, and I said to remember that I need to buy this stuff, and I have no idea.
You did say you wrote it down.
Yeah, no idea where that shit is.
You sort of have notes in various places.
Yeah.
You can think about that. You don't have to get back to me
Yeah.
straight away.
Ah,
Did Carlet have anything he wished to spend his earnings on?
I can recall the date of debt too. 5th of September 2023.
I was thinking of upgrading my arm.
Mm.
Let's calculate that.
So what were you thinking of upgrading it to?
The very best if possible.
Do you have a couple of million credits available?
Dude.
Oh, so much. Yeah, I just sell, collect the bounty on Space Wizards. No. What is the breakdown on the upgrades?
On the cyberware?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you say click on the cyberlimb, the everything is rated as a rating 1 as the base rating for cyberware. You can go for rating 0, which means normally pre-used, and it goes at half the normal price, and it comes with issues. And you can go all the way up to rating 5, which costs 10,000 times the price.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, but then I halve it with my cybernetics thing.
Still not going to make it terribly cheap.
Affordable. Yeah.
As if I look at the price of...
Okay, so this does not cause the usual stress. Oh. So what is the difference between
Okay,
the rating 4 and rating 5? I can't really see any...
Between the rating 4 and rating 5, rating 5 will give you a extra attribute boost.
That is gross. I can see why it's now 10,000 times.
Mm-hmm. So you can get a +1 on the basic item, but when you get all the way up to rating 5, you can make it a +2. It's the only time tech will give you an extra bonus.
So,
And it will set him back 5 million credits, at that, and that's half price.
yeah, we don't have anywhere near 5 million.
Does that allow you to go above 6?
Yes, it does. It allows you to go to 8.
Bloody hell.
So what would an upgrade to a decent one be?
Well, the decent one that has no setbacks would be 10,000, or for Ross 5,000, which should be roughly what he has now.
I haven't upgraded it yet, that's all. I really hadn't had the downtime.
I'm assuming your base item is rating 2. It's obvious cyberware doesn't have a setback. Oh, sorry, it looks natural and less scanned.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Can you afford that?
Whereas if you went for the 50,000, it won't detect on most scanners, and you get a boost dice when using it. And the one that most people would be aiming for is the rating 4, because it doesn't reduce your strength threshold when you put that on there, because the normal cyberware makes your mind easier to destroy.
Okay, that sucks.
It does.
Excuse me.
Because most cyberware, when added, reduces your strength threshold by 1, and you can only have as many cyberware as you have a brawn.
Or you've got the talent that I've got.
Yes, but Ross, that is where the talents change the rules. Basically, the base rule is you master.
Oh, base rule, yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Not the advanced. Everything changes the base rule.
Yep. Okay, so what's the cost difference between a rank 3 and rank 4?
A 0 on the end. There's always an extra 0. So I think it's for you to get a rating 4 would set you back 50,000, 500,000 credits, and that's you with the discount. It'd normally be 1 million credits for those without the discount.
You can buy a great ship for that.
You could, and you're looking at spending it all on an arm. You can literally say it costs an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
So where cyberware can get really good, but stupidly expensive.
Yeah.
And I'd probably say the rating 5 doesn't reduce your, doesn't get counted in your limit for how much you can change.
Probably maybe also resistant to ion as well.
And considering the arms can either increase your brawn or your agility, as long as you replace both arms.
Yeah, I'll
Which
be
means,
replacing both.
Which means
So
that
far,
you would have to pay for each arm separately. So if he wants to get the full setup, you're still looking at 10 million credits. Or 20 million if you didn't have half the price. Could you imagine spending all that money on just an upgrade?
If you've got it, I guess, but
yeah, please.
Did Garm have
Yeah, I'm trying to find the base cost. Where are the base costs?
So the base cost is, if you click on Cyberlim, it will have it at the very top under price/rarity.
Oh, there we go, it's 100. Okay.
And if you look at the table, the base cost is on the table as well.
Yeah, I can see.
The fact that they all have various things that they attach to it.
So, 10,000.
Each upgrade adds a 0.
Yeah.
But hey, starting characters can go the other way and remove 0 to just put it in the hardware to start with.
Mm.
And so
you just upgrade.
they can start off with a whole bunch of cyber, which they do in Shadowrun. Because you don't get penalized to have it as a starting character.
So that means I'll actually lose an additional strain.
So how many items have you currently got, Ross?
With cyber,
So
I've
looking
got,
down there, you have... You've only got one cybernetic enhancement at the moment.
yeah, it's just a prosthetic. It hasn't actually been enhanced. So if I want to go for an enhanced, it's going to cost me my right arm. So that cost me 10,000 to get that done.
Did Garm want anything?
Got a shotgun.
You got your shotgun?
Mm.
Did you particularly want to buy... Did you want to get himself some armor?
No.
Did you want to get himself any tools?
No. I don't have any skills that need tools, as far as I'm aware. So, no. I'm good.
But you can get cyber enhancement pheromones, so everyone likes you more.
Oh, that sounds underhanded and cheating to me. So,
Okay, some species have that naturally.
mm.
Isn't that called a facelift? Like, so you look like Fabio or whatever it is?
Oh no, there's one that does it with just your smell.
Oh, okay.
So you smell appealing,
Pheromones.
yes.
So much cheaper than a facelift. Maybe.
And that can be tailored to specific races.
Mm.
So all humans find you irresistible.
You know, that would be useful if you knew you were coming across a race that was particularly vulnerable to natural charm. And you had to, like, negotiate with them.
Now you're tempting him.
Nah.
Look, I just think that, you know, I reckon when Martin tells you things like that, sure enough, 20 minutes from now, we'll be dealing with a race who can't naturally be charmed. And wouldn't it be great? They're an olfactory based culture, And you smell like crap to them.
It's just a challenge I'll have to overcome. That's all.
You know he's done that to us before about the olfactory one. It's turned up on a planet about, I don't know, a dozen sessions or so ago. Planet culture based off smell. If you smelled bad, it wasn't good.
Okay, so going over to Thayer, who's been spending time in training and meditation. You've been given multiple options for what you can make with your blade. You can either make 2 separate blades, or you can make a double-bladed.
I was actually thinking of maybe going for what looks like a staff using like a non-lightsaber handle that is actually a lightsaber that can disconnect off it and be a single blade. But I've got enough to make 2 blades, is that right? So I could go for the old traditional double blade thing. I didn't get a chance to look at lightsaber types and what I'd get to choose from.
Well, the basic ones they have is the basic blade, a double blade, a lightsaber pike, which is basically a stick with a blade coming out the end of it, a short blade, so it's basically half the length of a normal lightsaber. Generally used for working in conjunction with a basic blade, and the last one is a training blade, but the training blade doesn't use crystals.
I'm tempted to go pike because polearms are really effective as far as hand-to-hand goes, but I can't envision what they would look like.
That's okay, I have something I prepared earlier.
One of Carla's favourite weapons is the force pike. Mind you, it doesn't have a lightsaber stuck in it.
You don't have the actual lightsaber pike, you've got the force pike.
Yeah, I've got the force pike, I don't have a lightsaber version. I don't want the lightsaber version.
To give you an idea, that's basically what the wings look like.
So that's the pike.
Yep.
That looks kind of unwieldy.
Well, it's designed to also be a bludgeoning weapon as well. So you can.
Am I going to have trouble though getting like into and out of docks and security and stuff like that?
Well, it'd look more like a walking stick than a. You could set it up like that.
Like
Then
a staff.
Well, that's what I wanted to. I wanted to look like is a walking stick. That I just happen to be able to use as a weapon.
it also means that you've got a longer stick to use your hands on.
2 kyber crystals, because I technically have like a short-bladed weapon and the pike, or
You
is
could
the...
technically have a short-bladed weapon and the pike. The shorter is the short-bladed one.
Because then I could hide the short-bladed weapon in my armor.
Or it could even be set up as the equivalent of a handle to your pike.
Yeah. Well, if I could do that, that would be good. Because I like the idea of a polearm because they are terribly effective, both as a bludgeoning weapon and to create distance and all sorts of other things. Forget swords from medieval times. What you want is a polearm.
Oh yeah, a long spear with a
Yep.
a long dagger.
Yep.
If you
Anything
can-
with a blade on the end.
If you can stop them from reaching you, that's the main thing you need to do. Okay, so Thea will need to make a roll.
Then I'll make a roll now.
Because the GM was nice and spent some of your XP to make the roll easier for you.
Okay. What roll do I need to make?
It's a law roll.
Okay.
I gave you 1 rank in law
Yep.
as part of your downtime.
Thank you.
It's either that or mechanics, but you're more likely to use laws and mechanics. in the
Okay,
long
so
term.
if I've got 1 rank, that's 1 yellow, 3 green.
1 yellow, 3 green, but there is 2 points, so you could upgrade
Can I
that
be
to.
selfish and upgrade that?
You can. So that's 2 yellow and
2 green?
2 green.
Yep. And that's against
2 purple.
2 purple.
Because you already have all your kit, you don't have to find any.
God damn it, Mike. Get me a triumph.
To be honest, this is the role you want triumphs on.
You owe me, Mike.
You want triumphs on this one?
Because if you get triumphs on it, you can customize your blade far more than normal.
I'll stop joking about that debt I'll never collect on.
Okay, so on camera, no triumph,
Blanky boy. Blanky boy.
but 4 successes.
Okay. I will take a success any day of the year.
Then I might get you to roll again for the other one.
I can't do another upgrade though, because
Well, I'm assuming you're making them both at the same time, so I'm just
Okay.
going to do it at the same roll.
same roll? Okay, cool.
Because you're doing it all over downtime.
Thank you. Do you want to know my official number?
Sure.
83,500.
Is that with the... That's not with the...
That
upgrade
is
yet.
not including what is probably about 30 grand in ship costs.
83, how much?
83,500. But
Yep.
I probably have about 30 grand in ship costs I need to pay for. So it's probably more like 53,500. And I'm just doing a really rough calculation on the docking fees and the fuel that you've given me for the ship to get to that. I got to about 27,500 and then I'm just like, I can't do this shit anymore.
That's okay.
Stuff.
Okay, so for that one, you ended up with 1 advantage and 3 successes.
I've done a lot of missions.
So you have built yourself a basic lightsaber
Thank you.
and a Shoto and a lightsaber pike. What would happen if you got to... You could, if you spent 3 advantages, you could decrease the encumbrance, which comes in handy when some of these
Do
things
I have
are
the
you
advantages to
don't
spare?
have it, I was just saying things that you can do.
Yeah, well...
And if you had the triumphs, you can increase the number of hard points on them.
Don't make my heart hurt with what I don't have.
Hard points are upgrade points.
Did you flip a easy monster?
She
Just
did,
one.
Just one.
Right.
I was being incredibly selfish because I figured you guys probably need me to have at least a half decent weapon. Well, when it comes to combat, don't you want me to protect you better?
What I would prefer is if you slipped, dropped your crystal and shattered, alright, and then you had to
Oh,
use
so
trippies.
I can just keep the kyber crystals that we got from the pirate and sell them.
You were going to do them anyway. So, sure.
I'm joking. I paid you for them. Actually, did you include that in? Yeah, I said I'd pay for them. Did you include that in
Nope.
your monies?
Mm.
So I
I said,
before I was a space wizard.
and I said, give to the younglings.
Ah,
This is
yeah,
the way.
so I do. Oh, yeah, that was minus my normal youngling percentage already.
Okay, so yes, you do manage to successfully create 2 blades.
It's a shame I can't pay money to lower my encumbrance. Although that would probably cost more than what I've got.
Well, the pike has an encumbrance of 3, and the Shoto has an encumbrance of 1.
3 and 1. Can I work to reduce those encumbrances later?
You can rebuild your lightsabers down the track.
Okay, cool.
So you'll want to keep upgrading your lore. because that's the thing that allows you to make lightsabers. But there are many things that will give you different checks and sit there and work through. That was just the simple, I built a lightsaber, I want to do funky stuff.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm happy to keep it quick.
And upon completion, you do get a vision from the founder in where to catch up with him.
Oh, the founder? Okay. Where do we catch up with the founder?
Okay.
And gosh, I hope it's somewhere where we can make money, because otherwise no one's coming with me.
They are sending a ship for you while Kayana is basically still working on the blade.
I see.
Because, hey, she's not quite up to the same level and did not get it done in that time. And she'll most likely be sent back to the others before she gets passes the second test to see the founder. First test was to get the crystal, second was to build the saber.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay. Just going to look something up. Okay, so Thea gets to make an astrogation check.
Okay, can I get my tray back?
There you go.
Thank you.
You get 3 yellow,
3 yellow, yep.
1 green,
Yep.
1 blue,
Yep.
3 white.
Let's hope that I can figure this out without an upgrade.
You get another 3 blue, because shortcut's going to come in handy on this one.
Oh, yeah.
It's a situational thing, it's not always a play.
Mm.
So that's why I look at the character sheets in case there's something that is situational.
What's the challenge? I'm hoping that's not a red because I've got a vision and a ship is coming.
It is 3 red.
3 red.
Yes. And Mike, could you flip over 3 points?
3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, why?
I was going to say, and this is where Mike now earns his keep.
Why 3?
Because the GM spent them all on 1 because he has the prerogative to do so occasionally.
Right, okay.
He wants
Because
to
the GM doesn't
decide
like you very much.
how long I get lost in space, and all of those jokes I make at his expense, I pay for.
But I think you did pretty well considering one of the red was blank.
Is one of the red blank?
Yeah.
Nicely done.
There's one blanky boy.
And you got 4 white as well, which will come in handy. So technically, you succeeded admirably with all that. Against the odds, you managed to navigate without a nav computer, which is why the task was so difficult. You had to intuit your way there.
Is that another way of saying use the force?
Pretty much.
And is this because it's going into a drift of some sort?
It's because you're flying off the map.
Yeah,
Use
it's
the
usually
force.
off the map wherever he is.
And you find yourself arriving in the middle of nowhere, no star on sensors.
Okay. Can I see?
And you can see what appears to be some sort of structure is here,
Oh, okay.
just floating in there between the stars.
Kind of like a space station, but not a space station.
Well, it's big enough to be a space station.
Okay, but not like a traditional, what we're used to seeing.
It's not got running lights. It's not got a beacon. It's not putting out a noticeable energy field.
Yeah.
Part of its stealth is it's just not visible. You won't know how to find it unless you specifically go off the map.
And you get Mike to roll for you.
And know when to drop out. Because if you get the vector, doesn't necessarily mean you'll find it. Just a second later and you wouldn't even be in range.
Yeah.
Suitably awed by my success in getting here. I'm trying to spell structure correctly and I'm not doing a good job. Right. I will head towards the structure and see if there's somewhere to dock or land, or see whether or not anyone gets in contact and gives me instructions as I get closer.
Okay, that would be a piloting check.
There's probably enough dice there for a piloting check. I am not Mike. Space. I get
Yes.
1 and 1. 1 yellow, 1 green. If Mike's happy to use a yellow and green from my pile.
Oh,
1 yellow, 1 green. I'm not sure what it's up against.
I was looking at mine.
Oh, it might be purple,
Oh,
which
my-
means
It would be 2 purple.
2 purple. That's 2 purple.
She's trying not to get me to touch her dice.
No, Martin doesn't get to touch my dice. I just do not go back into the bag with Martin's dice. They don't talk to each other. Did I fail?
Okay, you got a failure with
Oh.
absolutely no result.
Mike, what are you doing to me? I gather I get like a reprimand over comms.
Okay, you're flying in, you have no idea where to go, and you've gotten lost. There just doesn't seem to be anything visible that you can tell.
I will try to recalculate. Do I use
Computers.
computers for that?
That would be
Use
computers.
1, 3, and 2. So 1 yellow, 3 green, 2 blue.
Against 3 purple.
I need to give another purple over.
Purple.
Look, just leave that over next to Mike.
Purple and 2 green.
Oh, Mike. I've stopped your doom scrolling. I've got to get my credits out here.
You definitely got all
Yes,
successes.
yeah.
Lanky boy.
You got successes and advantages on that one.
Oh.
You do find what appears to be a landing field.
Awesome. I will hopefully gently post in and land. He goes piloting. No, I don't know. Please don't make me roll again.
Well, now that you know where to go,
Yeah.
it doesn't take you long to land.
Okay.
Finding a place to go was the hard bit.
Yep. That's good to know.
And the landing field appears to be big enough to fit about 10 times your ship somewhere.
Well, I presume so, considering a dragon probably spends some time here. And I'm presuming the dragon's far bigger than my ship. I will... what's the thing?
Helmet up.
Helmet up and see if there's anybody on board this structure.
As you walk out into the place, you do feel like this is huge.
So,
Definitely designed for beings of unusual size.
yeah, I was gonna say it's a dragon structure, not a human structure. Does it look like a space castle?
Hard to tell, you didn't really get a good view of it in the darkness because it's painted black.
Oh,
Black on
okay.
black.
Yeah. So it's disguised. Camouflaged.
And you think the only reason you found the entryway was they opened the door? Apparently they thought you got lost.
Yeah, no, that'd be
No.
that'd be an accurate description of what happened.
As you watch the black's door start closing off their stars.
Okay, I try not to feel overwhelming apprehension, but I'm in a safe space, I remind myself. And I'm wearing my helmet, and that gives me about 60 minutes of air. Once the big door closes, do I get a feeling that it's like airlocked and oxygen? Or does a space dragon not need those things?
The space dragon needs it, but not much.
Okay.
So after it does shut, you do feel the movement of air.
I'll save my air tanks.
And the room starts to gain a glow from somewhere. Not quite sure where the glow is coming from because the room just seems to light up.
Is there any indication of which direction they're heading? Blue lines on the floor, signage.
No lines, but as you start to look around, give me a perception roll.
Perception is 1 yellow, 2 green, 2 blue.
We've got 3 blue for you.
3 blue. And then 3 white.
Mm-hmm.
I've got that correct. I'm so glad your hands are rolling these and not mine today.
With 2 purple. Average difficulty.
So 2 purple is an average difficulty.
Mm-hmm. 1 is easy.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you get 1 regularly.
Lots of lanky boys.
And you ended up with a threat as you're startled to see what appears to be 2 space dragons here. They look like they were just part of the structure until the lighting levels went up.
Anybody would be startled by that. So we've got space wizards and now we have space dragons.
And one of them is a deep blue that you recognize as the one you've met in the void.
Starwing.
And the other one is more of a golden colour.
Definitely.
Well, I presume they've got to have friends. Hopefully with benefits on occasion.
They greet you.
I'll give them a somewhat awkward half curtsy, half bow. I don't know how to behave in front of my founder. And then I just decide to do the respectful down on one knee type deal.
They ask you to present your blades.
I lift my pike and draw, separate the Shoto and light them up.
Okay, so they light up with a gold in a core with a blue outside.
Oh wow!
In
Didn't
the
even know you could get that.
in the shape of a blade.
Okay, yep.
The majority of the Mandalorian designs are blades.
Blades, yep. Not just
They don't
torches.
look for
red. Yeah,
Sorry?
it's just the funny
It's
colour here
it's
that's
secret-
turning red
it's
into...
secretly red.
Well, if
actually,
Swatto's treated as canon, yep, you can get any colour of you like.
actually, that kind of makes sense considering that when we saw Starwing, he was that deep blue. I should have expected that in the lightsabers. I didn't know what colour they were going to be until you told me.
I had planned it all along.
Red.
We had someone voting for red.
Yeah. That look, just because they're golden and blue now doesn't mean they can't go red later. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I'm being warned.
And then you're treated to a montage of training from them, discussing to you the ins and outs of using their teachings and those who can sense them.
And do I find out the name or what the gold dragon wants to be called?
Deathwing.
Pardon?
Deathwing.
Deathwing. Starwing and Deathwing.
And she generally refers to herself as Starclaw, because they each took on a clan, she says.
Death.
You mean like Death Watch? You could have Star Watch. Or do you mean just death in general because you like death?
I have a Deathwing tattoo.
Ah, yes, you do. So you're all about the Sith.
Yes.
Well, you see,
and I also
when I
have
roll those white dice, if I get enough of those black ones and I use them, my blades will go red.
And I also have a Vader tattoo.
And a Vader tattoo.
And they do talk about the failings of both the Sith and the Jedi.
Vader riding the Great White Shark from Jaws.
Nice.
I know they've been asked this 1,000 times, but a little bit why me? But not in a sense of why me, but more like I've been given this ability. How can I best make use of it to serve the clan and the founder?
You're not asking the most crucial question. The most crucial question to ask a dragon is, when you fart, is it flames or is it just air?
That probably going to depend on if we're in space or an atmosphere.
And if we've had wind deluge.
In space, no one can fill your fart.
Well, yes, they can. They just got to. Depends on how plasma-like it is.
So this is where Thea whispers, Brum Brum wants me to ask. I guess the ever loyal and faithful, which are parts of our Mandalorian code. How do I serve the founder with these is probably the question that they expect to hear from me.
Well, they're happy with whatever question you ask, because basically they say the Mandalorian path is one about individualism and discovery, and then supporting one's clan. Not about being the one in front, not about the one seeking glory. In times like this, those that seek glory are cut down.
Well, the one thing I've certainly learned is that we're more likely to make it through if we work together. But I seem to be struggling in leading my clan and keeping them together.
They've arranged for a certain Garm to take over that responsibility. They've been watching him from afar because he seems to be ideally suited to take the brunt of the leadership, mostly.
No!
Is this because I lack the capacity to learn and do so? Or is this because one simply does not have gifts and talents in all areas and I need to accept my faults and just do this?
I believe you would be better suited learning a different path and freeing up your time so another can shoulder the main responsibility.
So not failure, new direction. Good with that.
And they also point out the more you learn, the bigger target get painted on you.
How do I hide my use of the Force? Do I simply not use it, or are there ways to diffuse it, mask it?
There are many ways. The best way is to use it sparingly.
Does using the lightsaber automatically mean that I'm using the Force?
No.
So I can draw that if the situation is dire and I feel that it is needed, without necessarily bringing Inquisitors and Sith.
It will draw attention, but it is also different enough to confuse.
That.
It is not one of the traditional blades, nor is it one of the traditional colours.
It is not. And if the narrator allows, I will draw out the blade I picked up at the research centre and I say, what do I do with this one? It speaks to me, and it tries to convince me that violence and giving in to my frustration is the easiest path to everything. I'm not sure it will be safe around Kayana, because I feel having met resistance with me, it will find another target.
I recommend holding on to it and using it to meditate.
Okay.
Because dealing with the negative will help you overcome it when it reaches you at inopportune times. That was one of the failings of the Jedi. They said the negative would not happen, and when they then faced the negative, they were unprepared to deal with it.
Oh, we're well aware of the negative. I think we've just had a one-day experience where we were reminded that the negative is very present in the world. That poor old man.
Don't talk about going that way.
No, the little old man who got his head chopped off just for answering my questions.
They believed the Sith spirit didn't like the fact that you had cleared his mind of their influence.
No, he didn't. I saw in a vision what you achieved at that temple and express my reverence and admiration for my fellow Mandalorians who worked with you in your goals to just remove such a negative influence from our clan.
As such, we are going to teach you how best to use the battle mind ability to enhance your friends.
I don't know that they will welcome my intrusion.
They won't feel it.
Oh, in that case, that's good. What they don't know, all the better for them.
Unless, of course, you learn one of the advanced techniques in which you can direct them through your mind.
That's gonna... Let's let them get used to this part first. Yeah. They haven't discovered just one of what they call Space Wizard in amongst their members. They've discovered two. And I think that's going to be enough for now.
This power both the Jedi and the Sith stole from us.
I am really surprised by that. But also, it puts everything into an entirely new perspective for me.
Well, they wanted more power, whereas we enhanced those with us so that they would live longer.
This is really cool to know. So, has this been something in amongst the Star Wing and the Star Claw and the other three clans associated with the Space Dragons from the start?
It was one of the first things they taught their followers.
That is really awesome. There's a Kesley somewhere out there wishing she was here right now. Because I know she'd find that really awesome too.
Well, currently she's busy working, so she'll find out when she gets back.
Yeah.
Occasionally you miss episodes.
Oh, yeah, no, I just mean she'd think this was really cool.
So you end up with a training montage with them where they go through various techniques and exercises for you to practice and learn.
And I spent a lot of time in my room.
As well as training with the various sabers.
And I
including
presume this training I can pass on to Kayana?
It is, including the red blade.
She will have to resist it or not resist, but acclimate to its negative impulses as well.
So they do leave that up to you to determine when she's ready to start.
We'll
If
gauge.
that is never, that is never, they say.
I like to think one day, because I think if I should use it to meditate and balance out things, I think she should too.
But she has much anger to master first.
She does, so we will wait. See. Will the crystal likely reach out to her of its own volition?
Not as long as it thinks it still has a chance with you.
Ah, that's going to be a fun game.
Hence, meditating with the blade. And if you meditate with it long enough, you may heal the blade.
Oh, didn't know that. This is
If you
good
can
information too.
have it let go of its hate and anger, as each crystal is a life force in its own right.
Ariadna is envisioning Rhiannon's affirmations right now. There is negative in your life. No, black books. Just imagine.
The tiny book
yeah,
of calm.
the tiny book of calm. You are a stone in a round stone in an ocean. Time will pass over this.
They do say if you are successful, the blade will most likely be white.
That's.
As that is generally what happens to a cleansed blade.
I think in terms of the crystal itself, that's not a bad thing.
And this blade dates back to the Great Sith War.
I feel if
Ooh,
I can,
nice.
Hence why it was within that region.
I don't know that I'll ever be able to achieve this goal, but I feel if I even just attempt to, that means one day this crystal could be used for another Force user like me, or could be one I adopt for myself while I pass on one of mine to another to make use of.
Most crystals attached to the user.
So I'll have 3.
You'll have 3.
Okay, I've only got 2 hands.
That doesn't
That can be arranged. I can put another cybernetic arm on you.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
And there's also force use. You don't literally have to
I didn't even think about that, and I should have.
hold everything you wield.
Yeah. See, I was just thinking a Sebulba, type species would be handy at this stage.
Or taking one piece and stick one in your mouth.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly that. Like
I wasn't quite going that far. I have no desire to accidentally stick it in my mouth the wrong way one time. And then use the Force and then not be using the Force anymore.
And then you become a Force Ghost.
Hopefully. Only to teach everyone the important lesson. Lesson 1, don't stick a lightsaber in your mouth.
I thought lesson 1 is don't look into the light paper.
Yeah, that's lesson 2.
Okay, so after your training montage, you find yourself arriving at Elma Upside, many months down the track.
Yep.
As your
Okay.
character will end up with 13,000 credits. 36,000 credits. At that point as well.
And that will go with my... What did I end up having? 5,500. Oh, shit. But minus some for the unwings. So 5.
Well, with your 83,500, which you told me about.
Yeah, but I was minusing about, I think it's at least 27.5 grand to dock, fuel, and maintain the ship using the costs you gave me, I don't know, over a year ago. But I kind of gave up calculating at one point and just rounded it up to 30 grand.
Okay.
Which makes it more accurately at 53,500 because I've been maintaining the ship unless we wanted to spread those costs amongst the rest of the crew,
it should be done that way.
in which case it would only be about
Well, you need to raise
6 or
that
7
and
grand.
kick people in the bum to get them to pay money.
Yeah.
Let's just say you'll pay for them at the moment, which means in total you'll have 89,500.
Okay. 89,500. And did that second lot include how much I usually give to the younglings?
Nope, that was just all on you with extra stuff being done for the younglings by the founder.
Okay, alright. So I don't have to worry about the younglings in this case.
In this case, you'll be bringing back some material.
Yeah. For armour?
For armour training.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yep.
New training seems based on old battles.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Stuff that technically doesn't exist anymore in the Republic and Old Republic libraries.
So I arrive at Space Station or Elrood?
You'll arrive in Elrood at
Elrood,
Almar
yeah.
Upside, which is where the group has set up their stuff.
Has my droid and my cats been with me this whole time?
They have not.
Where are my droids and my cats?
Back on the station.
Can I go say hi to my droids and my cats?
You can.
Come on, it's getting dark.
Iggy and Quill end up on the floor underneath 2 cats and a droid.
And plus all the other cats from the station.
Yes.
So as you catch up with the others, I'm going to duck to the bathroom myself.
Okay, so I'm guessing that we're going to start a new mission now. Yeah, apparently I've been away for months. So
Right.
I've been doing that good old training montage. I feel like there should be a song called, montage.
There is.
There is.
In America.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna need a montage.
I didn't even think of that. I should have. I thought you were just making that up.
No.
But yeah, no, it comes from the movie.
Mm.
You gotta remember, I don't remember unless I'm reminded. And sometimes not even then.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen that.
It's a great movie.
I was gonna say, it's not like Transformers 2, 3, 4, and 5.
If Transformers actually came out before Team America, I reckon Team America probably would have done some thing for it.
Done what?
They would have had some stupid rip-off of it.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right, so, I'll say, hi to the group, find out what you've all been done, see whether or not Garm even wants to be within 50 feet of me.
Garm's not there.
You're not on Elrood getting trained?
I'm there, but you haven't run into me yet.
I haven't even managed to find you?
No.
You're that good, you can avoid a space wizard.
He's been trained how to.
I'm pretty sure.
Unless you reach out with the Force.
Oh yeah, I'll know how to track you down.
There's a not so subtle fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off.
you wouldn't even know.
No, it's intrinsic for my character. He's
I would simply just have to say, Dom, where's Garm? And Dom would make it happen. You'd be in a room with no doors. Not that I want to force it on you, but at some point we'll work together. So yeah, when the GM gets back to the table, I'll let him determine how successful I am at tracking you down.
I mean, there's only so many places you can go, so it'd be an absolute.
Yeah, I'll just look for you specifically, and I'm pretty sure I'll be told where you are.
Mm.
And because you don't know that I'm coming, you won't be able to hide.
No, that's probably very true. Yes.
So,
but it's like you I'm standing in a corridor talking to somebody. You come around the corner, I notice, I turn, and I walk away from you.
No, I'm going to approach this tactically. I'm going to, stealth follow you until there's a place where you can't actually run. There'll be a room with a door there, and I'll come in that door, and you can't actually jump out of a window or leave by another exit, because I know that's what it's going to take to keep you in the room for more than 60 seconds.
Honestly, it's not hard to do.
No.
There's only so many places you can go.
Exactly.
We just had the milk going everywhere in the fridge.
Oh, I'm sorry. I put it in on its side and I probably didn't do the lid very well.
Yeah, so we just cleaned it up.
Did it make a huge mess?
Probably about half a cup.
A cup and a half?
About half a cup.
Okay, so we've still got some for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I cheat for your lunchtime coffees at the moment.
It's all good. Okay, so
The
yes.
sugar-free
The
ones.
Space Wizard is terrorising Garm, or attempting to.
No, I said I come and I will try to find Garm. I'll find the whole group.
In such a manner that Garm has nowhere to go. Right?
I know
I can't
he's
get
going
away
to-
from her.
I know that he's going to avoid me at all costs.
So Garm, after you wake up from one of your training sessions,
Lying on the ground with a 12-year-old footprint on my jaw.
and you see a Thea standing over you.
With a pike. Pike.
It's not a big
Walking
though,
stick.
is it?
No,
So it's a staff.
no, yeah, but it looks like a Mandalorian pike. For all.
Stuff with a sword on the top.
What?
Well, the sword's not activated, so he doesn't know that that's the laser sword. But yeah, I'm just I'm going to offer you a hand up, or just be the hand that's there when you open your eyes, and just see if you take it. And if you're just too dazed
This
to
is the hand you're
realize,
looking for.
too dazed to realize that the hand belongs to Thea to begin with.
Maybe it's one of your nightmares come to life.
Probably.
And
Yeah, look.
It has been 5 months since.
So
you've
I'm
seen
lying
it.
there going, like I've just come round.
yeah, and there's a hand
There's a
out.
hand. I'll grab hold of it, thinking it's one of the guys I've been fighting with.
And then I'll lift you up, but it'll be almost like you've got a little flight in you. No yank or anything, just a really easy lift, because I've been training.
As soon as I realise who it is, drop the hand.
Oh no, I've got your wrist now.
I drop the hand, but now I'm like, oh! Getting dragged.
No, not drag.
No, use your training and get out of the group.
What?
You've been
I don't
training
have
out to get out of
training.
it.
What are you talking about?
Oh no, Martin will make you roll for that one.
I'm just going.
I believe he's having a mental break.
Look of fear crosses my character's face, and I start trying to backpedal away from you, but you've got a hold of me. I've got a brawn of 2, an agility of 2. Getting away is almost impossible.
Mine's not actually that much higher.
It is a 3. You are
Significantly stronger.
1.5 times stronger than him.
Yeah, I've got a brawn of 3, but agility's same as you. I believe.
If you were trying to get the hand on me, then maybe I'd have a chance.
Would it be obvious if I used the force to try and calm him down?
You haven't
him?
learned how to affect other people's minds yet.
No, not that way. Okay. I would be reluctant to use it on him anyway. I think that would just make things worse.
You feel calm.
Do I just?
And I'm like, you're in front of the foundlings. Don't embarrass yourself now.
Too late! Too late! Actually, I look at some of the 12-year-olds and go, you're supposed to be protecting me! What are you doing? Protect me!
You can see them out with their cameras taking photos.
Kids suck.
Some of them are doing the whole selfie thing with you in the background.
Selfie bomb.
Oh dear. Captain Don told me you guys have been doing some training to do with
And you hear it in the background, put your back into it.
things that can't be seen. Surely you must be over your fear by now. I'm just Thea.
I'm never
I am still the same friend who knew you back before we left for that planet. Doesn't our friendship stand for anything? I'm the same person. I had these abilities before we left. I'm exactly the same person. Is this ability that I didn't get to choose going to cost me the only non-clan friendship that I have here? Because everyone else here is part of my clan. Aside from Brum Brum. But he doesn't talk to me much. You at least talk to me. We work together. We get missions done. We've had a natural ability to get this group to do things. Surely that's all got to count for something. The same person.
The character's got a look of fear on his face.
And I'm the person who stopped that guy from popping your head off. And will stop others in the future. And I'll protect these foundlings from the same threats. And I'll protect everybody else in my clan from these threats. And as will Kayana. Is her friendship with you gone now too? Are you parting ways with our clan?
No. You lied to me.
Lied to you how?
You didn't tell me.
I didn't know what I had, and I did tell you. I said I was a space wizard. Said it to your face. Said it with all seriousness. You chose to laugh.
You know how that would have come across.
What? How else could I have told you?
You
How
could.
else do you tell someone?
You could.
I have these unexplained powers
Yes.
that will get me killed because nobody's...
I thought we were friends. Why would I, if I was your friend, why would you think I would kill
Do
you?
you tell me everything that happens in your life?
I've told you, you're aware of everything that's happened to me up to the point where we've met.
I don't know that there's all those things, like all of your relationships
Since we've met, yes.
since we've met.
Yes.
I've
Now, if there was something about me that you weren't aware of that was going to bring a strike force of the Empire down on my head...
I didn't know that. I just knew that...
Is she lying?
No.
No.
Bullshit.
No.
She didn't know all the details.
No,
to be
I
honest.
did not know the details until we were in that temple. Found out the same day you did. Only knew I had these weird kind of abilities. I found this really cool laser sword, which I don't need the Force to use. Knew that there were space wizards in the world, like Sith, that used them. Knew that I had to keep that hidden because it's like a weapon that people can't
Illegal
have,
weapon.
illegal weapon, but they're exactly the same as the light foils. And we don't tell people we got them either. They're not a huge secret. They're just like any other prohibited item. In fact, most people don't believe in space wizards until there's one right in front of them. I wasn't even sure I was a space wizard. Not until this bloody portal opens. And like, bang, you're a space wizard.
You're
And
a
you're
wizard,
like,
Parry.
Do
That's
I
exactly
have to
what went
be?
through my head.
Not
I
until you
don't
got your
necess-
letter from Hogwarts.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to have these abilities, but they're mine. I now have a responsibility to learn how to use them and then protect everybody
Then you
else.
should learn how to use them
That's what I've
to
been
the best
doing.
of your ability.
Where have I been for the last 5 months?
I don't know. Where have you been?
Well, I'd tell you if you weren't trying to run away.
At some point you're going to let go of me, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm hoping you will stay within speaking distance. And I'll let go. You can
My
run
character
now.
probably goes pop and hits the ground.
No.
And there is a bit of
It's a-
laughter from the things, and they're going, okay, you
I'd
won.
like to stipulate it is a very gentle letting go where he realises that he needs to take his own weight before I completely release his arm.
I have other things on my mind at this point.
And
If you do fall, I will gently lower you to the ground as if you're meant to be there.
So I get up off the ground, and I stand up.
And
And
if
I
you
go-
leave now, I'll let you leave.
I go, what happened in that temple, or actually what happened around that temple, was one of the most disturbing things I've ever experienced.
Do you think it wasn't disturbing for the rest of us?
I have no idea, but perhaps you're built of stronger stuff than me.
Only
But-
because we've seen this before.
Well, have you?
On the battlefield. Not quite
What?
like that, but we've seen people slashed open and bloody
So
and
have I. That's just
dying.
death. People
Yeah.
have tried to kill me before. People have tried to blow me up. That's to be expected. That's war. But when someone crawls into your brain and makes you kill yourself,
That didn't happen to me.
but it happened to me.
I know, and it happened
And it was
to
a space
Scarlet.
wizard. And what are you? Are you going to crawl into people's brains and make them kill themselves?
I could, but I'm a better person than that. And I'm a better person than that because I know people like you. People like you remind me to be the better person.
I didn't understand why the Empire wanted all of the space wizards dead, and now I do. If I could wake up tomorrow and have all of them gone, I would have no problems with that
Do you
at all.
know why I didn't crawl into your head and try to get you to kill yourself? And why
Hopefully,
I
because you
won't?
don't want me dead. Hopefully,
Because you've eaten some ice cream and had brain freeze.
had coffee this morning.
Eaten ice cream and had brain freeze.
Because I have learnt all my life to protect people. Not all space wizards are determined to destroy. It is generally the Sith who
And
are
the
so
Jedi.
motivated.
and the Jedi.
Sith and the Jedi. That's why the founder basically dislikes both.
Yeah. But I'm not a Sith or a Jedi. I'm a Mandalorian.
They're all space wizards.
No, we're not all the same. You and I aren't the same as individuals. Why make me the same as every other evil despot there is out there?
So you're telling me you can't crawl into people's brains?
I can. The difference is that I'm not that person. And the reason I'm not that person is the company I keep. People like you keep rejecting me just for who I am, just for being who I am. I will turn into one of those people. I will start to hate. I will feel isolated. I will feel loathed. I will feel bitter and resentful. And then I will want to get revenge on the people who rejected me just for having this ability and nothing else.
So all you're telling me now is that it's really, really easy for people to turn into these Sith.
And what I'm also telling you is that it is really important that you don't reject me just because of having those abilities.
Don't reject me, or I'll go evil, crawl into your brain, and make you kill yourself.
You're simplifying it too much. I'm saying don't reject the person that you knew just because you had an experience with an evil despot. That I'm not the evil despot. I'm not the same. And did you know that most of these evil guys work for the Empire? And that their reason for wanting to kill all the other ones is because we would stand against them and stop them from crawling inside your head and making you kill yourself? And that many of us gave our lives to stop that from happening? There's a history here. Before you make a judgment, learn about it.
Oh, I have. I have been learning about it.
But don't judge me on the basis of someone else. An ancient evil being.
Alright. If shit changes, I want you to tell me.
Oh, I'll tell you. I can be open now with the clan about it. I know what it is. I can actually put it into words now. Couldn't do that before. I was changing. I didn't know how, why. Don't know what started it. Didn't know when we ended up on that planet that we'd be facing that guy. If I knew that, do you think I would have taken any of you? I'm not taking my family willing into that situation. I would only expose myself to that danger. You've seen me in many battles. How many times have I put myself in front of the group to take all of the damage that I can, to the point of being knocked out mid-air, just so that I could get people to target me instead?
Once.
And, well, I've done it many times. You may not have been there to see it, but I've done it many times. As the leader of this group up until now, that has always been my goal.
Well, I guess as the leader of the group, I have no choice but to accept you, which is good. So, please, continue to do your training. Don't crawl into people's brains and hurt them. And I look forward to you continuing to lead.
I won't be crawling into anyone's brains anytime soon, I can assure you of that.
Good.
I'm not capable. That is the truth. I'll look you in the eye.
I think the key word there is yet.
That's true. But it takes years.
I'm sure it does.
Many, many years. And I may choose not to do that ultimately. I may
Crawl into people's
choose
brain and murder them.
just to be able to get into people's brains. I may choose to use my abilities differently. I still have to decide those things yet. I'm hoping I've got good people around me to influence me towards that. And so far, the founder, who's been the main person coaching me, seems to have the Mandalorian code in mind. And if you know that, it's about loyalty and faith and protecting each other.
And the founders did tell you about 8 other Force traditions that they knew of.
Mm-hmm.
The Farseers, the Finesmen, which usually just Gand.
Mm-hmm.
The Jasari, the Killian Rangers, the Matukai, the Peacekeepers, the Sorcerers of Tund, and the Witches of Dathomir.
So, yeah,
There's more than that, but there's ones that they have encountered in their time.
So, if you think about it, the world is full of space wizards. We just can't see them. You never know when you're dealing with them. They might not even know that they are one. Anyway, I'll leave you to think about that, and I'm going to go do some meditation and catch up with the rest of my crew.
Enjoy.
And I'll leave you be, and I'll go and catch up with Khalid and Kayana, and I'm sure I'll find Brum Brum in the middle of an engine somewhere with a wrench.
When she leaves, I'm going to harangue. Where were you? You're supposed to be looking after me. You said you would.
And
the hell's wrong with you people?
They start showing you the videos of how you looked while you're all standing there.
Yes. Look of absolute terror on my face.
I presume they probably didn't realise they're supposed to protect you from one of them their own.
They kept telling me, we'll protect you, we'll protect you. That's why when you grab hold of me, I'm like, protect me, protect me!
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's it. Hopefully now we can at least do, I'm presuming we're going to get a mission.
Okay, so what happens when you catch up with Khalid?
I don't know. What happens when I catch up with Khalid?
So, will I be able to get the cybernetics done?
What cybernetics were you getting?
I was going to upgrade both my arms to a rating 2 and subdermal armor rating 2. Basically all I can afford.
Do you need... We can always talk about some money to help upgrade you a bit more.
Alone.
Yeah.
Yes, it's called selling a starship.
So what sort of arm do you get?
I don't have that kind of money.
Brawn or agility?
Brawn, thanks.
Okay, so yes, you can have had them installed in the 5 months.
Yep.
By the droids on the station.
Yep.
But...
And then I'm going to save the rest of our money to upgrading droids.
But when Thea comes to catch up with you, do you respond to the fact that she's a space wizard now?
No, I treat you as normal.
Pardon?
I treat you as normal.
So just every day, same thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Except that I'm going, look at these new guns!
Look at, yeah. I will appropriately ooh and ah at Khaled's new upgrades. And I'll ask him all sorts of questions to which I'm aware I'm not going to understand the answers to, but I'm going to let him happily give me the technical details. And then I'm going to go to... Sorry?
Well, the other thing is, due to my training, I do not want to have any of your abilities due to the fact that I cause speed.
Yeah. But you're not like Garm, where you're just like, I don't want to be within 50 feet of you because you'll get me killed.
What? No, I'm supposed to protect you.
Oh, look.
I just say that I don't want your abilities because it'd actually be really bad for me.
I have to say,
from my understanding.
Khaled, that is a really refreshing, absolutely refreshing response. Because I'm kind of getting
upgraded. You're going to be getting bigger things getting thrown against you.
Look, that's not actually the case. If I don't overuse my abilities, we're not going to attract any more attention than we normally would. Which is, we're Mandalorians and we're very competent at what we do. So, yeah, we shouldn't get too many big bads. It's only if I'm forced to use my abilities to help us out of any tight spots that will encounter that problem. Or the player says if the GM decides it's going to suddenly be a problem now. In which case, yeah, that's the GM deciding, not Thea. And yeah, I'll give Ragnarok a special treat or two to keep him happy. And because he's part of the same litter as mine.
Yep.
And I'll go visit Brum Brum. And see if I can find him in amongst engine parts, I presume.
How does he find you, Mike?
How is it's not the robot unicorn anymore, it's the
Cyborg Pegasus.
The cyborg Pegasus.
It's had a number of upgrades done to it a couple of months ago. About 2 months ago. Currently working on improving the ship's handling more than what it already has.
So which part of the ship are you buried in?
Inside
or outside?
Well, he's had a chance to overhaul it, so he's probably had parts everywhere.
Yeah, I will say that I'm working in the engine bay.
Are there half a dozen foundlings polishing it for you?
No.
Aww. Is there a reason why no one else touches your ship?
Yes.
Is that because your other one was stolen?
Yes, and because they're not me. And they get a zap with a cattle prodder anytime they touch the ship.
So they can take photos, but they can't touch.
Correct.
And how is that set in Gungan?
You said no touch?
You said no touchy.
Misa say no touchy or zappy.
Zappy. Yeah. Because if you try to touch, I bet you're not zapping them just once.
Oh no, it's and it's not a little.
No.
Kind of like the Emperor zapping.
Yeah.
That.
Short of having Sith abilities, yes, I believe that's what you would do. You need to honour those tattoos.
Yes. Yeah, so currently working on the engine.
I'll kind of stick my head under there and hi.
Misa say hoi hoi.
I'm back, as you can obviously see. Statement of the obvious. How's it going?
Misa said, who said that? Misa good.
Yep. I hope you can get all these parts back into her before we have to go on our next mission.
Misa an expert. Misa never has spare parts. Everything is always... Everything that comes out goes back in.
Back in. I was going to
That's
say,
correct.
surely you do have some spare parts
Shoulder
if something
bolts.
breaks. But what you mean is when you stick it back together, there's no extra parts.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's only if I'm installing extra bits on purpose, not leftover.
Leftover bits. I was going to say it's looking really good. But I expect we'll be heading out on our first mission or our next mission soon. So it's a good thing that you've got it going.
Yes. I've Misa have upgraded the engine thrusters, the frame for defenses. Misa has used the wind tunnel to improve aerodynamics. I was like,
What is it?
trying to talk.
But
You're
by now,
link. And I'm like, can't do both.
I was going to say, by now you guys have guessed that this is the same as with Carla, but this is talking to me about ship stuff that I don't really understand, but I know is actually really important.
Make go fast and
I understand that.
and
Maneuverable.
that.
See, I understand enough.
Speed, brum, brum.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that Misa can do the castle run
In less than 12.
in
Yeah.
less than 12
In less than
parsecs.
10 parsecs.
Yeah.
How long is a parsec? Have we figured that out?
It's basically part of a sector.
Okay, right. So less than 12 parsecs means they're not even using full parsecs?
So,
My brain just hurts now.
so if you break a sector down into smaller segments instead of parsec,
Right.
and sectors take up a big square of the galaxy.
So that still gives me no idea of the meaning of what less than 12 parsecs is.
Because basically it is a abstract measurement in an abstract system.
12 parsecs per year is now in kilometers per hour. It is 4,224,149,1611.7 kilometers an hour is 12 parsecs.
So 4,000.
1, 2, 3. 42 billion.
Okay, yeah.
If 9 zeros is 42
Yeah.
billion.
Yeah, because I'm like, what is the context? 42 billion, as in kilometres.
Per hour
Yeah.
is 12 parsecs per year.
Wow. Yeah. No, my brain still hurts.
Okay.
Alright. So, are we all gathering?
You are gathering together as they are starting to look at what needs to be done to start putting together resistance cell to fight against the Empire. Because they believe that to leave it as it is will just invite more abuse and mistreatment. And then they point out that the Empire is employing the gold eye space wizards, the yellow-eyed space wizards.
That's supposed to be.
And seem to have gone on a recruiting drive to make more of them.
The Empire has?
Yes. According to the founder.
Oh, yeah, okay. So is that who we're talking about?
The Inquisitors.
Oh, right, so not
He's
Mr.
close
Green.
enough. He's not really a trained Jedi.
No. Is he born yet?
No.
Oh, thank goodness.
Be a bit hard considering his mother's supposed to be at this age would be 14.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, they haven't had a new hope yet.
No. That's why we're still 4 years before the Battle of Yavin.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're at the start of the Star Wars Rebels series.
Yep. Does that mean Ezra's around?
No.
Okay.
He's on Lothal. He hasn't joined them yet.
No. Okay, cool.
I said you're at that point. You haven't actually started that point.
Okay, yeah.
And they are asking how you believe you can go about doing it, because they're asking for ideas and opinions.
Well, Garm here is great at resource gathering. And all resistances need resources. Broom Broom can fly just about anything, anywhere in minimum time needed. And the rest of us, we've learned to be everything from muscle to mechanics to negotiators. So we can definitely help. I presume a resistance cell needs a lot of resources, so maybe that's a good place to start.
Okay, well, they have figured out of a place where they can get some resources. There is a route known as the Pearl Lane trade route. It is going from Coruscant all the way out to Lothal, and currently it's seeing a lot of traffic.
So when they say resource gathering, do they actually mean pirating?
Well, pirating means you're intending to sell it, in this case.
We're just taking resources needed for the rebellion from
The Empire.
Empire?
Hmm.
Okay, so Robin Hooding it, but that probably isn't a known folktale cliche reference here. Metaphor. That's the
Well,
word.
they do say that you're using the tools of your enemy to fight them.
Yes. That doesn't seem like a bad idea at all. What was the when you finish cleaning your glasses, the spelling of that route's name?
P-E-R-L-E-M-I-A-N.
A-N or M?
N.
N. Route. And it's between Coruscant and Lothal.
And Lothal, yes.
And there's a lot of traffic, Imperial traffic.
And they've got word of a stop off at Martel Station, where you'll be able to use one of their contacts to get on board, and hopefully take off with a freighter that they've identified as M226.
That's the freighter.
It is the freighter. And so, just so you know, that means you're also officially in Season 7.
Season 7.
Mm-hmm.
So season 7, episode 1?
Pretty much, yes.
Well, the prologue. Read me yellow text.
Yes, yeah, the yellow text right now. In a galaxy far, far away. Some newly stamped rebel resistance mercenaries.
And the trade route is also known as Axis.
Okay, the trade route is known as Axis.
AXIA.
Yep.
AXIS.
I'm familiar with Access.
You know, from the used in
Andor.
Andor, yes. That's where the name came from.
It's good for spreadsheeting.
Sorry?
Computer joke. Access. It's good for spreadsheeting.
Oh, spreadsheeting, Access. Rather than Axis. As in the axis of awesome. Which used to be a comic group that did great songs. Okay, so we need to get to the Martel station.
You need to get the Montage station. It's believed that this freighter will be filled with enough weapons and armor to help get more than one rebel cell off the ground.
So this is a one-off.
This is a one-off. There will be multiple ones off as they get Garm and his experienced crew. Because the rebellion in general is looking to use that to start building up their little cells all over the place.
And when we do, like, what time do we have to, how long do we have to up ship and go, like,
well,
ship and get going?
after the briefing, they will be sending you out on a, using one of their freight captains to drop you at the station because basically they're expecting you to steal the ship.
Yep.
And in doing so, if you took your own, you should likely leave it behind.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's okay.
So they're not wanting to hamstring you by having to look after your own ship.
But gearing up wise, I gather we don't go into Mandalorians?
You go in however you like, they say.
Okay.
This is basically, we're asking you to get the job done. How you do the job is completely up to you.
Yeah, well, we've walked into lots of places as mercenaries, but if we don't have anywhere to store our armour, we know what I consider.
This ship. What type?
It is a large cargo freighter.
Is it stock standard as far as we're aware?
Larger than anything you've been on board before.
But as a freighter, it's a stock standard. Like there's no, we've got no indications that it's been hybridized or.
They don't believe it's been militarized. They believe it's just basically part of a entourage.
I presume then someone like Room could fly it, were we able to get control of it, we just need to get access codes.
It would definitely be one where you'd be using all your skills because one man wouldn't be able to control it by themselves. It basically, you're the bridge crew. Congratulations.
Any sort of plans of what the ship looks like to familiarise ourselves?
They've just been given the ID and hoping for the best.
Okay.
What I mean is, if it was a particular type of freighter, for example, they are generally they'll have a general floor plan, assuming of course it hasn't been adjusted, but at least you can start with the basic floor plan.
Okay. They think it's a temple class heavy freighter. So think very much like the Nebulon B medical frigate. Think something like that. Except it's designed to have large cargo freighters along the Mandalore.
I do not know what that is, but I'm hoping somebody
Well,
else
the
does.
Nebula B was just a bloody big freighter. The rebels militarized it.
Yeah.
Actually, they didn't militarize it. It was already militarized. They stole it before it was built.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Not that one. That one. So that's basically what they look like.
So it's kind of similar to the Black Ice in one sense of the Black Ice was two big balls, but this is two ends with a long bridge in between.
And in this case, the long bridge is where
all the freight,
big freight.
cargo freight, yeah, the boxes, the containers.
And they say rough value of the freighter by itself is close to 1 million credits. So this is not a small acquisition on the side of them, and it will need at least 50 crew to keep it running.
So we've got to do the same as what we did with the Black Ice in one sense. Get the crew convinced that we're the people who are meant to be running it.
Well, it only needs 6 bridge crew. Well, it's normally captain, executive officer, 6 bridge crew, 6 engineers, 1 surgeon, 1 corpsman, 14 crew, and 29 naval troopers adding the security. So you can literally do that with manning it with the engineers and bridge crew.
So as long as we can...
And they're going to send with you a bunch of engineers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you're free up to keep the ship running while the grease monkeys keep the innards working.
Okay, so it can be just us and the engineers. We don't have to convince anyone to swap sides, etc. We can just put them all in an escape pod and... No.
Pretty much. Or you take it while they're at dock and just throw them onto the station as you leave.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the likely scenario.
And they believe that there's a dozen of these temple class heavy freighters in the convoy.
So this might be
1 of 12.
Not the first one we steal. Not the only one we steal, sorry. Alright, well, point us towards the guy who's going to get us there, and...
Well, before we do that, the issues we had when we were taking possession of Black Ice.
Black Sun.
Black Ice.
Black Ice.
Black
Yeah,
Ice.
Black Ice.
Black Sun is the criminal organization, and you didn't take
Yeah,
control of that.
So first things first, actually getting control of the ship. I mean, we can threaten, we can point guns, we can do that sort of stuff.
Does
You can
your
crawl into their
contact...
brain and make them do all the things you want them to
You
do.
told me you don't want me going
Into my brain.
You
I don't want you going into my brain.
Which do you want?
I want you going into their brain.
That's okay now.
Of course it is. It's not going okay to go into mine. Go into theirs.
What about him? What if he cares?
I don't care.
You don't care about his rights, you just care about you.
we're going to steal a ship. What are you talking about
I
rights?
can see Gum coming in with a Magneto helmet. At some point.
Good call.
Look, I reckon Vroom Vroom should just find some kind of helmet
I'll be running
and sell that to Garm and then buy ship parts.
I'll be running
all
around
these-
with a tinfoil hat on.
Look, I'll go commission on you. I'll find amulets and helmets and things. You sell them to him, saying they're anti-space wizard stuff, and then you can buy ship parts with your bit, and I'll
And when I
just
find out it's a lie, bad things are going to happen.
I'm not lying. Problem is.
So, again, Black Ice.
Does your contact? Because they said they have a contact that's going to get us on
But
to
first,
this ship.
I'm going to ask each of you which of these you prefer to be, what goal you're trying to get to help start up the rebellion for the clan.
Yeah.
Is the first one is looking for a combat victory. So you're basically wanting to show that your cells can hold their own against the Empire. Then there's counterintelligence. Basically, if you look at Andor, that's pretty much what the Axis was all about. Is basically finding out what the other intelligence people are doing. Then there's intelligence itself, finding out the secrets. That is strategies, where the people are, where the things are, basically finding out what they're doing. Internal security, basically protecting the rebel cells from the Empire's intelligence agents. Personnel, finding more people.
We've been pretty good
Looking after the people in the rebel cells.
so far we've been good at recruiting and that kind of thing.
Then political support, trying to get more votes in the Senate for the rebellion.
Please no.
Recruiting, finding people to join your cause. Resource acquisition, which is pretty much Garm's thing, is the one of finding this is basically what this mission is.
Yeah.
Then sabotage, trying to blow up Empire stuff instead of stealing it. Space superiority, showing that your space flight is better than their space flight.
I was going to say, there's something for everyone, isn't there?
Tech procurement, looking particularly for technological developments. Support, being the person who makes everyone else's job easier. And is any of those things ring a bell with people? Because I was thinking Garm pretty much suits the
So,
resource acquisition.
I missed the one between resources
Well, the recruitment would be sort of Garm's.
and space superiority. They're just going too fast.
Sabotage.
Sabotage, okay. And what was the tech one?
Tech procurement.
Procurement, okay, cool.
So does Vroom Vroom Crash have any of those that appeal to him? Space superiority?
Yeah, probably.
Are you the best fighter out there?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I was going to say, I missed actually. Oh no, it's space superiority.
Basically, by achieving these objectives, you gain favour with the rebellion, and then they will start giving you free stuff to help you gain more favour with the rebellion. Including promotions. Okay, what about Khalid? Did Khalid have any of those that he particularly felt like was his calling for helping set up the rebellion for the Mandalorian Clan?
Possibly also the technological one.
Tech procurement?
Yeah.
I was thinking Khalid might actually go in for tech procurement.
Yeah, I think the tech one.
Because space superiority is very clearly something you can achieve with your piloting and so on. And it gives you.
You mean counterintelligence doesn't suit you with your assassination enforcement style of things?
Yeah, counterintelligence is the other side.
Counterintelligence is probably useful as well.
Or internal security, where you just want to stop people who actually do walk in the door.
Probably internal security.
So, which of those three best suit you?
Well, tech procurement is not the same as droids, is it?
It's not the same as droids, no.
Yeah.
That's why I was just asking Ross what suited his character.
Well, that's what I was just checking because he's interested in droids, so if tech procurement included that, well then that might be one of the interests.
Now that would be probably going under support, wouldn't it? Playing with droids and all the other stuff.
Well, it would be helping with support. But tech recruitment, tech procurement and recruiting both work with droids.
Yeah.
Upgrading droids would probably fall under personnel. Because you're upgrading the members of the Alliance.
Yeah.
So what suits Khalid the most?
Probably is actually specialised in all those fields.
You can literally do all 10 of them, to be honest. Well, all 12 of them, actually.
I was going to say there's quite a few.
You can literally fit in all 12 categories. It's like, what categories suits your belief of your character the most?
I think, although you'd have to confirm it, Kayana would go combat.
I was going to ask her specifically.
Yeah.
So, Ross, do you want to be counterintelligence and internal security?
Yeah, I'll go for that one.
Because they're two, actually.
They're two, yeah. Which means
I've actually got
if
people
you
down for
wanted
two
to
at the
do
moment.
tech support, you could do tech support, Mike.
I've actually written him down as both.
Oh, have you? So you're already on tech from as well. Mike's like, you just tell me what to do when I need to do it, right?
Which means you each get a different role to do when you're actually doing stuff. And what does Thea feel she fits into?
What did Garm end up going for?
Garm has resource acquisition and recruiting, because he was saying he pretty much felt that they were both his thing.
So resource and recruiting.
There's no reason why you can't have the same as everyone else. It's just that I was aiming for what suited the way you're playing your character and what you can aim to try to get in the adventures, because you'll be earning points for yourself by completing tasks relating to those fields. And that will then translate to extra gear.
Well,
So you don't have to pay for it.
I'm definitely more attuned to either combat or negotiation type stuff, leadership and things. So,
So negotiation does sound like political support.
no, I'm not doing political support.
I bet just support.
I've done that stuff. Well, I was thinking a little bit of me would probably do hold our own against the Empire, combat type stuff. Intelligence and college and counterintelligence. Intelligence is just gathering information.
Intelligence is gathering information. Counterintelligence is
I have been able to make friends and and gather information quite a lot because my negotiation and my charm are pretty good.
So the things
It's
that
not
I
as good as
thought that
Gal.
suited your character were personnel, support, and intelligence.
Yeah. So
Because personnel is about looking after the people that are there.
yeah, that is.
Support was protecting the people in the clan. Is personnel. That's what it's
Oh,
really
okay. Yeah.
about. Support is basically aiding the others on their endeavours.
So personnel support.
Personnel is one, support is another. They're
Right.
two separate ones.
Yeah.
One is about protecting the clan,
Yeah.
and one is about protecting their team members
Okay.
and making their jobs easier.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I tend to do that kind of stuff already, so that is the kind of stuff I probably lean towards.
Because each of you will be wanting to hold your own against the
But
Empire.
I wouldn't
but
mind having a go at intelligence, maybe, but I think it's going to be harder than I think. Well, let's just say I'll go for personnel and support, and if I'm able to do intelligence at some point, I'll maybe give that a go.
Support is the easiest one to do because all you have to do is help everyone else achieve their goals.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to challenge myself a little bit.
So how about intelligence and support?
Um,
That's a challenging one where half of it requires you to actually actively get information.
Yeah, well, can I have a think about
You can.
that?
Think about how much easier it'll be when you can climb into people's brains.
You are against this.
Well, other people, I'm happy with that, but just not in line.
That logic doesn't work.
Of course it does.
No, it doesn't work.
He'll have a Magneto helmet.
Exactly.
Which would be odd.
Now, the scary thing is that there is actually helmets that do that.
I'll sleep with it on.
My logic doesn't work to that. Either you don't want it happening at all to anyone equally, or you do. Because if you let it happen to one person, you have to be prepared that it's going to happen to you.
No, that's not true at all. That seems ludicrous to me.
Magneto helmet.
Yeah.
You need to. I need to get onto eBay and see whether or not we can come up with a deal where we can sell you a helmet.
Okay, so for Gum,
Yes.
your special little packet of extra information tells you that one of the cargo containers has slaves on board. And liberating them from the Empire will go towards making your goals achievable, as well as the military gear, which was the primary reason for taking up this task. Okay, so for Room Room Crash, the things that they tell you about this is that they do believe that some of the cargo contained on board is specific hardware for starfighters, so they can upgrade some of their ships to better take out the Empire.
What kind of slaves?
They do not know.
Do they need any particular life support?
They would already be on the cargo.
Yeah,
But once you get them, you'll be taking the whole ship, not just the slave.
So each mission we do will contribute to these goals. Doing this mission will contribute to your two goals in that way. So you have to make sure that container ship is...
Remember, another thing is that they believe that there is a highly classified tech hidden amongst the containers that will, I think, link to a new weapon.
Nice.
So they're hoping to get the details of it as part of the mission. Okay, so to Khalid.
I got the screenshot that through credits.
They believe that there is a Imperial Compnor agent travelling aboard the ship, and they want him captured.
An Imperial what?
Compnor.
How do you spell that?
Compnor. It's one of the Imperial agents for intelligence.
Okay, so there's an Imperial Compnor on board.
Is Compnor a rank?
It's a organisation.
Oh.
Sort of like if you say
CIA.
CIA, FBI. Think of it as a jumble of numbers that are jumble of letters that mean intelligence agent.
So he's got to be alive.
They want him alive, and if he's going to escape, dead. They don't want him free. Alive will earn you more kudos. If he's taken out, then that they will understand.
Shit happens.
And travelling with the agent is a rebel trader who they need silenced.
That's for my.
That's for Ross as well. That's his internal security side of things.
So travelling with.
So the Compnor agent's name is Soren Talis, and the traitorous rebel is Raven Zale. The reason they want the other one caught is they want to know how much he's taught and who knows what.
That's understandable.
So,
What was his name again?
Raven Zale.
Raven.
Ravin Zale.
Ravin. Zale.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And
It's
for
called.
Thea, with her, so the support side of things is basically if you can help the others achieve their goals, you get kudos. The other question is, do you prefer personnel or intelligence?
Personnel's very much in her personality line, protecting others. So I kind of want to go towards that, but I wouldn't mind trying intelligence at one point.
Which one would you like to try now?
Personnel.
Okay. Under the personnel side of things, there is a small band
Oh,
of...
wait a minute, I thought we were doing support first.
Support, I did. And I
To
said
support the others, yeah.
Basically help the others achieve their goals.
Right.
Which is why it's the easiest of the 12. The second is the personnel, where a small group of Alliance Spec Force troopers have been captured. And I believe it's the fault of the Raven Zao
Of Alliance
Spec
Spec
Force.
Forces.
That's the special forces of the Alliance.
Yes.
Pretty much what Andor was.
Yeah. Captured as a result of the rebel trader.
And basically, if you can find and free them, they will give you very high level troop support on the rest of the mission. Basically,
Makes sense.
they are elite infiltrators.
Yeah.
And of course, you free them, and they're there to be used as elite level infiltrators.
So think Australian Special Forces compared to the Stormtroopers being American Commandos. If you know the difference between the two, that's roughly what they are.
We'll find out Cows when she picks next session, hopefully.
And as we're pretty much quite late at this time, it'll be a good time for us to give Kayana a chance to catch up.
Yep.
I say we finish at this point now that you know roughly what you have to do. And if you wish to change any of those things in the meantime, we can do that between sessions.
Yeah. Look, part of me is tempted to do something outside of my scope just to learn, but
Again, like the Black Ice, how do we change the Transponder.
That's the sort of thing that the Spec Force would know.
So none of our techie wizardy.
They will try their best, but they're not used to that sort of changes.
Alright.
They can shut down the transponder, but they're not skilled at changing.
So does that mean we need to infiltrate the ship first and like free the?
You can change the transponder as it's moving, but it's best to do it while it's powered down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another issue we had with Black Ice was we took the ship once we stole it to an absolutely ridiculous place. Where exactly will we be taking this ship where it would be safe for us to unload, etc., etc.?
Okay.
Because we get on there, we manage to do what we need to do, we go to fly off, and half the Death Stars and whatever follow us around the place, and we're left going, that's great.
Okay, so they give you a rendezvous point in the middle of nowhere. It's not in a star system. It's off the main route, which means that the likelihood of someone dropping out of the right coordinates is extremely low. Even if they know your vector, they will expect you're going for one of the systems nearby.
And you'd be able to find this quite easily, I assume?
Knowing that it's intentionally dropping out between stars?
More likely, depending on Mike's astrogation versus mine, between Mike and I will be able to figure it out because
4 yellow.
I've got 3 ranks, so if you can't do it, I can, and I can assist you.
4 yellow, 2 green, 3 blue.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mine's not quite as good as that, but it's not.
But you can also intuitively.
Any to sneeze at.
No,
I've got a different combination, but just as many dice.
No bloody space wizards expected on the ship?
Only if you don't take them with you.
Okay.
They say it with a laugh.
No, my character's not watching.
Only if you don't take them with you. Meaning, if he leaves me behind, he'll be fine.
Well, you're saying, will there be any space wizards on board? Well, if you take them with you, of course there'll be space wizards on board.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I just feel like you're encouraging him to leave me behind.
Well, it's not up to me since you're in charge.
I think.
Where do I find the costs to upgrade ship? Is that if I just click on vehicles?
It should be under vehicle modifications. If I have a quick look at it, I will be able to check.
I'm pretty sure Starwing said that you were going to be in charge.
I have no idea who that is.
So gen
it means
vehicles
I'm
with
pretty sure
modifications,
that would
and it
come
should have
from
all the
Dom.
prices there.
To you.
So vehicles with gen,
Sorry.
yeah, and the tab modifications should be the end one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Garm/Peter was just saying I'm in charge, so he doesn't get to choose. But I'm pretty sure Starwing said that Garm's going to be in charge. Did anyone pass that on through to Garm?
Dom did.
No, he didn't.
Dom says, by the way, Garm, congratulations, you've been officially sworn in as leader. For services rendered.
I feel like I should just get my backpack and leave. Because, you know, that'd be better than just being kicked out. I did not ask for this.
As the experienced rebel and soldier.
Experienced soldier, what are you talking about?
You're still a sergeant.
And
You may not have fought on the rebel front lines, but you have fought to earn that title. At least trained.
trained.
Now you get to put all that training into practice, they say, with a slap on the back.
Why do I see the new rookie recruits on Battlefield Los Angeles? Half of them being wiped out because it's their first time actually hitting a combat situation.
That's all the aliens?
Yeah, the Battlefield Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They go in for an evacuation.
It's not a bad movie, that one. I thought,
They actually did it well.
We did watch it recently, so... So yes, you have been
Thrown under the bus.
I swear I'm not driving it.
And they are taking you there to Motor Station on a lander shuttle. So very much like the Imperial shuttle, but without the weapons.
Mm.
Because hey, it's not an Imperial shuttle, so it can't have weapons. Officially.
Yes.
Fair enough. I think that's all the
So
questions for now.
I'm going to put it to end credits, unless you want to add anything there, Ross.
No.
Okay.
I think Ross's things will be very interesting. They're very illustrated.
They will.
Actually, a lot of those were quite interesting.
Yeah, that's why I was really tempted by intelligence. But at the same time, I want to play to my strengths.
And each of the 12 had a story option.
Yeah, that's the part of why I was curious.
Okay, so going